Well, good afternoon to you here on this Saturday. I'm News 4 Chief Meteorologist Chris Suche. I want to get you up to date on where things stand as this front's coming in. It does have some scattered showers. There are a few thunderstorms with it as well. First of all, we'll start with our view across our 4 zones with our Raul B. Rodriguez Law Weather Cam view. And you can see up in Kerrville at 63 degrees. So you're now behind the front, quite a bit cooler up there. We started the day in the 70s. 85 in Gonzales, a lot of cloud cover, just under 80 in San Antonio. Still mostly cloudy in 82 into Uvalde. Now, here's where we stand right now with rain. There's a little bit of shower activity now in Bexar County and Comal and Kendall County, working into Bandera and Medina County. This is the front beginning to push into Bexar County, moving slowly. And as it arrives with the warmth and certainly the high humidity, these scattered showers are going to continue. And on occasion, like you saw right there, that was a weak thunderstorm. We could get a thunderstorm to pop along or just behind this front over the next several hours as this front slowly moves south. So the good news is the rain chance continues not just along the front, but behind it for a few hours. And then as it works further to the south, and later this evening, things begin to really quiet down. Let's take this in a little bit closer here for you. We'll work our way around Bexar County and around Bexar County. And you can see here around Schertz to Cibolo, just couple little showers here. These are enough to use the wipers, you know, and even get the streets a little bit wet like that. That's a tiny little downpour right over the airport. A little bit of a moderate to heavier shower there along 281. And 410 on the north side here of San Antonio. And you see as it's popping up, it is moving up 281. So then you get into Hollywood Park, into Stone Oak and Timberwood Park. These are scattered showers. They're starting to fill in a bit here on radar through the northern half of the county. Let's take this up a little bit further north as we work our way around. Not much in New Braunfels at this time. A couple of sprinkles and showers around the city. And then as you get up to Canyon Lake, here you can see patches of a little bit of rain up here around the lake. And then over towards Hays County and San Marcos. There you see a heavier shower here. That could be a developing very weak thunderstorm. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a random lightning strike out of that. That's right there along 281 on the west side there near Spring Branch. And then as we work our way further here to the west into Kendall County around Bernie, from Bexar County into Kendall County, these are all scattered showers, really not producing much thunder at this time. And then as we work back into Bexar County, let's go into the northwest corner. Here you can see from Scenic Oaks, Fair Oaks Ranch, down through Dominion, Cross Mountain, into Helotes. We have these scattered showers that are sort of developing and filling in on radar as the front moves here to the south. And we'll keep an eye on any kind of a trend here for maybe a developing updraft and a thunderstorm, which is going to remain possible for the next several hours. So you can see to the west, these are scattered showers developing, coming into around Medina Lake and Lake Hills. And then as we work our way over towards Bandera, County, then the town of Bandera, you see the scattered showers developing here around you as well. Here, let's pull the view out and take this a little bit further here to the south again, just to kind of reestablish. And so you can see as you work up into Kerr County, we had a few showers. That one thunderstorm here that was near center point before it completely fell apart. Comfort with a little bit of rain, and then not much as you go further to the south. At this time. That'll change. Later on, we're going to see showers and storms through the southern half of the area. Now, let's take you out west. This is actually where we do have some stronger storms that I'll be watching. They are capable of small hail at this time. They're not severe. A lot of lightning there in northern Kinney County to Edwards County. So this is just south of Rock Springs. And I do want to point this out, that our radar site here in Brackettville in Kinney County is down. So I'm using the radar scans from San Angelo and from New Braunfels, San Antonio. So we're looking a little higher into the atmosphere here on these storms here. So it's not as high resolution as we would like to see. But you get the idea. Brackettville, seeing that thunderstorm come in. In fact, let's go a little bit closer here as we do this coverage here for you, what we have in this update. And get right in there. You can see, again, pocket of some pretty heavy rain and small hail possible there around Brackettville. You see that little shade of purple that showed up there briefly. So that's definitely a hail core that was showing up here on radar over Brackettville. And then as we go a little further north, heavy rain with some very small hail possible in here. And that will be heading towards Campwood to Barksdale as you work in the southeast corner of Edwards County to Real County, and then towards Uvalde. You know, we're going to be keeping an eye out here for you on these storms to see how they trend, how they hold together as they're moving. As you can see, to the east-northeast, they're actually then moving behind the front. They're becoming elevated as they're riding up and over this cool layer of air behind the front. And so we'll see how long they can hold together as they're moving in this general direction here to the east northeast. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead and bring this back in a little bit closer here. Don't want to go that far out. So again, we'll watch this activity to see how well it can hold together for Lakey, Vanderpool, Utopia here on the north side of Highway 83, Concan to Uvalde with that batch. Hail tracker will show you, again, these little pockets of really small hail there in Kinney County. That's all we have. Obviously, with showers, we're not going to have really much of a hail chance here in around Bexar County at this time. So that's the way it looks at the moment with the scattered showers. You see how everything's settling further to the south and really under control. We're not even remotely close to a severe storm with that activity. This is where we do have just below severe threshold in Kinney County with that strong storm in Brackettville. Notice the temperatures cooling behind the front. It's now 60 in Kerrville, 57 in Rock Springs, 80s down to the south. And so as this front barrels into this push of warmer, humid air where it's a little more unstable, it's going to be a long 90 in south where my confidence is highest on realizing some scattered strong to severe storms in the coming hours here. So you see our entire area remains in that slight risk, level 2 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. My feel is that this probably should be the green marginal in here for an isolated severe risk, and then keep that level 2 out of 5 in this part of the area. In fact, this is my personal confidence based on everything I've been looking at. Southern Bexar County, southern Medina, or along Highway 90 south. This is the zone where I feel we have the most support in the atmosphere for a better coverage of strong to severe storms later this afternoon into this evening. So it's not to say we could drop our guard here. That's just where I feel we have the best potential at this time here as we move the clock forward. And that's going to remain for 1 to 2 inch hail potential here. And the wind gust, obviously, localized flooding if you get caught in a heavier storm. These are the hazards that we're looking at with this severe weather outlook in our area, especially that highlighted region. So let me show you the two computer models. I'm going to start with the HRRR model. These are both high-res models that specialize in convection or thunderstorms. This is at 2:30. This is how this model sees it. So you can see this is how it's handling the storms way out west. And then you can see along the front the scattered showers. But you notice by 2:30 to 3 o'clock, it's trying to develop a couple thunderstorms, one of which could be here in Bexar County, in Medina County. These would be sub-severe storms as I see them, as you see them here in this future radar simulation. That there and that storm there, for example, would have really small hail as I see it. And then we take this now to 3:30 to about 4 o'clock. You see around Guadalupe County, some of Wilson County to Gonzales, Comal County with a little bit of rain. This is rain with a little bit of thunder, although that's not a signature of big severe storms right there. You see a stronger storm, Medina to Frio County, and this one here, that would be a strong, maybe a severe storm as seen here, taken at face value in this model. So you can see the trend. This would be the front right in here. And you can see how this activity is behind the front. It's elevated convection is what we call it. Now this is at 5 o'clock. That is a strong storm. Questionable if that would be severe. That's a strong storm. And then these are near or just below severe storm levels that you see here. Pockets of heavy rain and small hail taken at face value. And notice it's central and southern Bexar County, southern Medina County, and into our eastern zone. And then we go a little bit further into 7 o'clock. And you see the strongest storms are in the southern half of the area and really not much for the northern half at this point here at 7 o'clock as the front is settling to the south. And then everything toward the coastline by 10 to 11 o'clock this evening. And then overnight, cloudy skies. It is cool in the 50s. We could get a couple sprinkles or showers, or a random overnight thunderstorm would be possible. That's not a severe storm, but it would be capable of really small hail if we do get a late night, early Sunday morning storm. Very small hail would be possible. And then notice it might move towards Bexar County, and then you see there could be scattered showers or a few thunderstorms in the afternoon on Sunday. And so this is while we're in the 60s to maybe around 70, 71, and these storms are riding up and over that. And so what they would be capable of is more small variety of hail if we do see them materialize. That would be a little hail coronaire and that one there. And that's where you get typically dime or maybe like penny-size hail in that kind of a scenario there on Sunday. Now, this is our in-house computer model, the graph, the IBM graph model. Here's the front. This is now 3 to 3:30. You see it has the front here just to the south of Bexar County by 3:30. You see along it and behind it, these are scattered showers or thunderstorms. These are not severe storms, but it perhaps could pulse up enough to where you get really small hail as seen here. All right. And then that's at 4:30 to 5 o'clock. That's an area of nice, moderate to heavy rain in Bexar County, out of Scotia County into our eastern zone. But here too, I don't see a real formidable severe signature. So from this model, now that there is a little stronger. That looks a little bit more impressive to me there, where you get some wind gusts and some hail in this model from 6 to 7 o'clock into the evening. Notice this favors south into the east or eastern zone. So that would be the eastern part of that highlighted area I had. And then you see not much back to the west or up into the hill country from the graph model, 6 to 7 o'clock. This is an organizing squall line then that works its way towards the coast. And then behind it, pretty calm, a very low end rain chance at 9, 10 o'clock, much like the other model we saw. And then Sunday, it has cloudy skies, cool temperatures, and some scattered showers or a thunderstorm possible, although the coverage in the graph model is not quite as impressive as the HER model on Sunday. So we've got a ways to go here through this afternoon, this evening, as we continue to watch the radar trends with you. We may eventually see the Storm Prediction Center with the National Weather Service put part of our area under severe thunderstorm watch, depending on how things trend as this front moves a little bit further south. So friendly reminder to you that our 4-zone weather app, it's free. It will receive any watches that are issued. It certainly picks up on warnings. It has audible notifications of these watches and warnings as they come to you. So if you're on the other side of the room, your phone will let you know with an alert on that. You could track the storms. You could see if they have hail inside them. The estimated hail size is a feature of our 4-zone weather app. Of course, temperatures and wind and road conditions, these are all things that you could track here on that app there if you want to visit your app store there for your iPhone or your tablet.